take down Mixwell almost instantaneously, which means they're going to get so much info here, already knowing exactly where that stage is towards the back, as Kalux is pushing around on the flank as well. So keep in mind that, well, the Futbolist side are just cracked with the aim, and this shows you why G2 just needed to be more wary of that mid. Well, indeed. Okay. Going up aggressive, expecting the flash. Does come, but unfortunately turns right back on into it. Tries to get up close and personal, but unfortunately the rest of the team is shut down. However, no one knows that Nukia is there. Unfortunately, they'll be well aware of everybody else. Good shots here. Actually manages to take down two. And every lick of damage for G2 is very, very positive.
Definitely. Like, obviously, with them full ecoing, the more guns that they can take off Futbolists right now, the better. Two, great. Can they get a third, though? We shall see.
It would be really solid of them to find a third. Sasuke is very aware that Nukia could still be behind that, but oh, here's the reload. That's a dead player. Unfortunately, can't get it through the edge. There it is. Sasuke will take him down. 2 rounds on the board for Futbolist, but as we kind of said, loosened a bit of the econ.
Let's go.
Indeed, surprised there was no upgrade to a rifle here for Futbolist to maybe have a point of power. Instead, they're choosing to go for a proper eco, not really ceding much, if anything. Storm goes out early, and oh wow, that paint shells really does force them forward. Aggression denied by Mixwell here, but can they buy enough time for their team? As they sit in back of Gong, tries to spray through, takes down another. Great stuff from Mixwell, almost finishes a third, and that gives so much space over to their team, and Avova is easily able to capitalize. With Sturban on the flank as well, it does go down. They should be able to close out that final player, especially because they're holding that spike rather than doing too much more.
I think it was great for Mixwell to hold down that site for as long as he did and allow his sort of team to come in with a little bit of a rotation. Whether Kiwi can take one more gun here, he unfortunately cannot. And like I said, Mixwell, even doing damage onto the third player, crucial for them to kind of get that information, garner the information, and then go for their first play. So they've chosen B site. I'm not sure what information they garnered, if any, there, or just took a risk. And we see that coming back from G2, sort of making this into a 4v1 and winning the round. I don't know about you, Rook, but I don't know if there was necessarily enough. Time is ticking as well now. They've really got to sort of commit to this, and we're seeing them sort of head over to A again. And they are going to get the plant down. They are gonna...
Oh,
no. Okay, no, they're not gonna get the plant down. And I think that round was sort of down to Mixwell for me. I think he is doing superbly well holding down this B site because...
Wait, very worried, doesn't know, doesn't spot the player. Nukia holds the tiny bit of angle, gives enough on over. With that lockdown, they should be able to deny the plant. They force players off. Really great usage of ultimates here, but as the wall goes down, tries to catch them as they run away, but it doesn't happen. It'll be Kiwi who goes for that peek, who gets put in the dirt.
They are doing really, really well here to sort of push them off site, slow them down, and I think this is the difficulty again with sort of...
As Kurax is sitting on top, making sure that they don't get caught by those flashes, which are just using to try and break through the wall. A good usage, but Futbolists, they're hitting their shots, trading out here. Drops on down, Q-Rex isn't dead yet, and with Sturban's backup as well, this should be an easy chance to pick up these frags. 8 bullets left in the clip, and Coldamenta turns away. Disastrous timing, and another round on the board for Futbolist. If you've been watching Futbolist so far, they tend to like this A site. So maybe this is a little bit preemptive, and unfortunately, as a result, this is going to make the round really hard, because the pistols are good when you have the opportunity to dictate your fights. When you're making a retake, that just ain't happening. Sasuke is watching the angle. Kellogg's is going down. I mean, tries to land those shots, but unfortunately, the Phantom is just that little bit stronger. And as a result, now G2 really in a difficult position. Mixwell's shorty went from a weapon that's, you know, a cheeky weapon that can absolutely take down players to kind of useless, frankly, here. Especially since they know it's coming. With Moy covering the back as well, this is really well played by Futbolist.
100%. A retake, you know, can be very successful. However, like you said, on pistols is very difficult. However, Mixwell picking up the Phantom and doing a little bit of damage. I'd say that that's a good eco.
Unfortunately, decides to err on the side of caution, which I think is absolutely right now. Sasuke is pinned, gets taken down. It's 3 versus 4. You have the Cosmic Divide, but how do you use that for a retake effectively if everybody's on site? It makes it very difficult, especially since you've got someone on the flank, but Mixwell doesn't care. He's here for frags, and frags alone. Nukia starts to step up as well. Sturban has to be very worried here, does go down, and then there was one on site right now. But look at Moy on the back. They do not know where Kiwi is. Avova just barely doesn't get seen. Turns away. They now know. Avova is aware. The Seekers, they get popped. The trade 1-for-1. But Nuki is under so much pressure now. Needs to win the duel. But Kiwi does it. And that's why you have these fraggers on these initiators. Even when they're not on the jet, they can absolutely pump out the numbers. What do you do in this position? You have to play aggressive. You have to get something. Unfortunately, they're peeking out, and Moy will be able to deny them quickly. They spray through the wall. They get two. Coldamenta with a great spray on that Spectre. The flash doesn't find a thing. And unfortunately, it's starting to run out of players, but they're running out of time as well. Kiwi is trying to stick it. Unfortunately, the shots are coming through. They take him down. And the Pistol Inspectors come up big for G2.
That there is how you pay
any kind of aggression and maybe looking for a tad of their own. No Torrent's watching it this time, at least that close. They're going to be a much more bare bones first alert system. Wall goes in and Kiwi actually finds that first frag with the wall denying that push from Garage. Things look a little bit better for G2 once they popped it open. However, at range, Moy does not miss those. And now there are only 3 players. I love this usage of the Seekers. And Sasuke, buddy, I would start pegging it if I were you, because that is about to tell them exactly where you are. Trades out 1-for-1. How are Futbolist making this happen?
As we see sort of Stubborn trying to wait and see if one of them maybe is going to peek, using the turret for a bit of info, knowing that they are close. So retreating a little bit, waiting for that flank to come in as we have Moy and Rax here. Rax finds Kellogg's 2v1. And a very successful retake.
Yeah, really well done by Q-Rax there and the rest of the gang, and utilising the fact that they had that numbers advantage to properly push him out.
G2 just playing things a little bit safe here. They know that they're one man down. Moy finding the first.
Oh my!
What happened? Hello?
Avova was just on a huge flank, and absolutely, yeah, I think they might have to be. I mean, with Avova on the flank, however, with the backup from Mixwell, fast might not be enough. The shot's there. Kiwi gets good, and, well, Stubborn manages to keep it even with a good shot onto Mixwell there, meaning those flanks aren't exactly going to work on out. Look here, has to play aggressive. However, that aggression we see is obviously not exactly what they want to. That's so aggressive, though, from Kellogg's, and I thought that if you play passive there, Q-Rex doesn't expect it. Unfortunately, gets too big for his boots and taken down.
A bit of aggression coming out here on A-Long. I think we're going to get an operator peek here and then someone to back them up as well.
Oh. Yeah, that's not too bad for G2. You take down Moy, who's been a bit of a pain in your backside. And obviously Kiwi's still here, but what can you really do about that? Smokes the cross, and the res comes in almost instantaneously, but Kiwi puts another one back down in the dirt in recompense. So, good play here from Futbolist to try and deny this. And Kiwi and Stubborn seem like a dynamic duo on this site right now. Kellogg's is fight, and the smoke doesn't quite go where he wants to. And Kiwi picks out another, a 4K for the operator. Almost finds another, but Mixwell has a bit of a better weapon than the Classic. I mean, with the right click enough, finally, that's actually true. But hey, the Cosmic Divide goes in, and G2 do actually manage to finally secure this site after what was, frankly, a mess of a round. Avova, buddy, turns away, but Mixwell never drops his focus.
A little bit more information for G2, and it's looking like they're going to make their way onto C site here. Falling off Garage, nice and safe. However, Stubborn is there waiting and does find Nukia and Mixwell. And of over.
Damn, that
And
was
with a pistol as well, just to rub salt in the wound.
To execute on in. Kelox is waiting, biding their time, but their position is given away by their gun. They check to the right, but not to the left. Sasuke puts him down, and now this push for G2. It's looking like lost, though. They don't have many ways to find it, and Kiwi shuts them down again. G2, they got taken down earlier today. They don't want to fall again like this to a team they feel they should beat. But 12-10 seems to be the situation. We still got that one round to close it out after this, potentially. But G2 are not far from overtime. They could clutch this out. Not much in the way of ultimates, but they are strong squad.
The difficulty is, though, here, Root, G2 did invest into this round, so it's looking like it's going to be a bit of a scuffed bye for them next. And I'm sorry, that's got to be a tilter there, losing so many men to Kiwi, who is just stood holding short. It's doable, Rook.
It's a real possibility. They are going to keep on moving on in, rotating players over quickly. You can see that Moy is really keeping an eye out. And no, still have a player keeping on to the seaside. Rotates off in the nick of time. That gives G2 a real chance to get the spike down. The flash is good, but they still lose. And Kiwi is off the board. But look at that fantastic play from Sasuke. It means it's still 2 versus 2. They're going to keep on at it. They pick up the spike. They've got rifles in hand. Can Avova get this one down? They start to move on over towards the back of the site. Stubborn and Sasuke stepping up to the plate right now. Avova wants to make it happen, but this is such a known position. They already take down one of those angles. It's making it ever so hard. Time is ticking, though. You've got to move forward if you're Futbolist, and eventually you will have to check Avova. Oh my god, gets the 2K and shuts it down. Really well played by Avova.
And the Astra Wall going down now. They weren't able to make their way up onto Seaside. And I don't think they were expecting Kiwi in Cubby. However, it is traded out by Coldamenta. They're able to grab the spike and retreat off Seaside here. I think they know it's a bit dangerous. And we do have the lurk on A from Mixwell. They know site's clear. They're making their way over. And Mixwell can now sort of push, maybe find another. And make it a 3v3 here. Mixwell's got to be careful, though, because you don't want to over sort of step and lose one more body. So I think Mixwell's just going to wait, get the plant down, and then go from there.
Yeah, this is definitely the right decision in terms of a more sensible one. I mean, sometimes you got to gamble, but right now G2 are in a solid position. They don't need to gamble. And as much as G2 love this strategy, it's now known to the opponent. They already had someone watching and waiting, and Stubborn will be able to move into position to maybe try and provide that extra part of the pincer that they need to be able to take some sort of aggression down. As G2 back off, they're playing a little bit more towards the rest of their utilities, so Seekers come on through and do mean that Coldamenta has got to play aggressively here. Pressure is starting to come on in, moving on through that cosmic divide as there is an absolute mess of stuff. Mixwell finds a 2K, but there comes 3 straight back. Brilliantly done by Futbolist, and they will be able to close it out there. 13-11. Unfortunate to see for G2 Esports, but that is them losing yet another game here today.
I mean, I can just feel the heartbreak from G2 right now. That is...